We've seen that the president, over the weekend managed to go to Tanzania, went to Uganda, and most of the conversations that were surrounding this was, enhancing, the bilateral ties between these countries. And, the East African community is quite an important issue here when it comes to the foreign policy that the president has to take. What is your, assessment of how the president is approaching this whole issue within sort of trying to, to integrate the regions, the countries within this particular region, and moving forward as an agenda in his own administration?
On 9th of September, on 9th of August, 2022, there were two types of candidates on the ballot. One, President retired Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga were Chinese candidates on the ballot. Then William Ruto was an American, British, African candidate on the ballot. Why? The policies of William Ruto is going away from China to start the intra-trade within Africa. And that is why he's very key to Ethiopia, he's very key to Uganda, he's very fast heading to Tanzania and enlarging Congo and all these countries, enlarging the trade for Kenyan products to be available to be taken to those countries. Two, he is the first president, after just being elected, to have been given an audience, a dinner with the King of Britain, King Charles. He also got an invite to White House in the US. So that's why I say William Ruto is a president who was on the ballot based on moving away from the East to moving within Africa and looking at the market in the European countries. So the diplomatic angle we are likely to see already, Gachagua, the deputy president, has put it very clearly that the ambassadors are not going to be ambassadors, but they are going to be commercially interested people to look for markets for our country. Agriculture in this country doesn't have where to take the crops or where we take our cash crops. So President William Ruto has taken that policy, and that is why we are going to see a lot of trips. Remember, President retired Uhuru's trips were borrowing trips. Every time Kenya One left Jomo Kenyatta Airport, we knew the president is going to sign a loan. But we are seeing this president is shy on loans. He's going to look for markets for this country. On this, I totally agree with him that within a very short time, the economy of this country is likely to grow in a manner that Kenyans will not be complaining anymore. Let's hear from Ishmael and then Dismas. I mean, your views.
Our country is strategic. Our country is strategically placed, and we are actually a country of interest globally for security, for commercial, as a commercial hub, and for tourism and several other things. So I think the steps taken by the head of state to popularize our country is very important, because we must put our best foot forward. I think it's enough to say that we should, popularize our country as a very popular destination for the regional countries.
All right, Dismas, you have the last word.
Yes, and that's a privilege, when I'm seated with my seniors here. President Ruto is behaving like the chief marketing officer for Kenya, reminding all our friends at a bilateral, at a multilateral level that what is available in Kenya. And in my view, this is going to translate to increase the FDI and increase the exports. And you recall a few days ago, he told KTD that now we need to start branding our tea, we need to start branding our coffee. And that's how we'll maximize on all these assets. However, we may face a challenge if we do not address that land acquisition issue. So that after marketing Kenya as an investment destination, when investors land here, we should go and receive them at the airport with a red carpet. Make sure that the cost of doing business in Kenya has been lowered, the registration of business, because now we have a very good market. And anybody who is coming to Kenya is not just doing business in Kenya, it's doing business in the entire region. And that's what we must encourage. And in my view, we are on the right trajectory.